My brother Chris, loving, kind, caring, generous, intelligent, and funny. We've shared many wonderful experiences throughout our lifetime. Although Chris is 2 years younger than me, he's influenced me in many ways. In our childhood, our parents took us on wonderful vacation trips where we traveled by motorhome through the western United States. We've visited wonderful, special national parks. Our most memorable, the Grand Canyon, Zion National Forest. As brothers, we did everything together. We grew up in Alhambra. We had a band of friends where we used to get into a lot of trouble together. I had about 10 friends that we grew up together with, and I took Chris into some places where he may not have been alive today as we speak. One of our favorite things was storm drain tracking. We used to go into the storm drains and wander through them for hours with flashlights and chalk just to find our way through and back. And we live today to speak about it now. God knows what might have happened to us. In our teenage years, Chris influenced me. One of the many things that he has had an effect on my life was music. Chris was into 80s alternative rock. Cheers to that. I was into disco. People called me Brandy's Mike, and I love Madonna. But Chris wanted to go to Depeche Mode, and my mom said, you cannot go see Depeche Mode unless your brother drives you. So I went with one of my buddies, and Rick Belkey, who's here in the crowd. He could wave if he's here at this time. There he is in line. We went to Depeche Mode in 1983, and I fell in love with the band. It is now my all-time favorite band, thanks to my brother Chris. That's one of the many influences that he's had on me. We went in 86, we went in 88 at the Rose Bowl, and we went in 90 at Dodger Stadium. Some of the best times of our lives. One of the best experiences with Chris was he was a chick magnet. So he used to bring... You tell him, Rob. I'm telling you. One of my favorite looks for Chris in the 80s was he modeled himself after Robert Smith, the lead singer of The Cure. So, he had the black eyeshadow, the lipstick, the hair. He dressed like Robert Smith, the nail polish. It was definitely a favorite topic of a conversation in our family, let me tell you. When Chris attended college at the University of Washington, so we got a couple of UW friends here, okay? I just turned 21. So I thought, hey, I'm going to be the cool older brother. I'm going to give him my driver's license because I had to renew at that time. So I give him my California driver's license, thinking that, you know what, he could buy the alcohol. Well, I understand that I was one of the largest purchasers of alcohol in the state of Washington. So I understood I had a 20% discount in my name. Yes. So at that time, I realized Chris, at the young age of 18, he found his calling. Party organizer. I know many people here know that that's true. I remember when he invited me, actually, let me skip ahead here, I'm sorry. When Chris worked abroad, he always thought to invite my wife Dee Dee and I everywhere. So we visited him in some of the most beautiful places in the world, thanks to him. He encouraged us to travel. We visited him in Seattle, of course, where he hailed from. When he went to London, we met friends there, we partied in pubs. He flew us to Paris. We went to Versailles, and this all thanks to my brother Chris. He encouraged us to travel and visit him, and for that, we are so, so grateful to him. When he lived in Manhattan, we visited him there. We took our parents for our 40th anniversary there, and we just had the times of our lives. And that's another passion that Chris has, and another title for my brother Chris, world-class traveler. It is so true. And so I lead back to, it's his love for life, his zest for life, that helped him fight through a struggle that we all can't imagine. My mom and dad, our family and friends, but most especially Rob, who came into his life, supported him through one of the hardest times of his life. And now I lead to Rob, another person who is loving, caring, kind, and compassionate. I met Rob maybe a few weeks before we went on a whitewater rafting trip together, which is another passion of Chris's and mine. We would go whitewater rafting for the last 2 decades on the American River, the Kern River, and we've conquered some rivers. and we've had some fun. Chris actually introduced me to whitewater rafting back in Washington when we went on the Wenatchee River on a trip with his fraternity back in like 1991, 1992. But when Rob went with us, first of all, it's the first time I got to meet him and really get to know him as a person. And I said, well, what a wonderful person. And here's an exciting anecdote, right? First 15 minutes out on the river, I'm like, everybody says, you got to be careful, be aware of your surroundings. Rob is the first one to go in the water. And I thought at that moment, gee, should I save this guy or let him? So no, I pulled him out. I could say, hey, I saved Rob's life. And on the second day we went out, we've gone for, like I said, since Chris took me in 91, 92, so about 27 years, never flipped. Second day, the raft actually flipped and spilled all 8 of us out into the river. And so I think Rob brought us good luck because we wanted that. We were adventure seekers. So anyway, I just want to say cheers to the lovely couple. Both of you guys, my brother, Rob, you guys are my heroes. I love you, and I wish you joy, happiness for the rest of your lives together. Cheers.